Okay, quick tip number 2, your folder structure. It's really important when you are designing your course that you make it easy for your students to find what work is expected of them. And so this particular teacher will organize it by week. And so week 29, the date that it opens, the date that it closes, maybe the topic, some expectations in the description, and then when the student goes into that folder, they see each assignment labeled by day. So this is one way that you can go ahead and organize your assignments. If we click back and look at maybe a previous week, just pick one at random, you can see again each week from March clearly labeled. She likes to have a little picture with her weekly folders. If we click in, it's going to have the assignments for that week. So on March 9th and maybe an exam for this particular week. So this is a hybrid course that we're looking at, and so there's not the face-to-face features that you would expect to see that you will see in the future. This is just a way to structure your course. So for instance, another way to do it would be maybe organizing it by unit. So this is the way I tend to do it. And so if I go into, say, Unit 2, each weekly folder will then have its start date, and they can go in, and I like to label my assignments by number. So 9.1, week 9, assignment 1, week 9, assignment 2, week 9, assignment 3. This way the students can clearly see what's expected. And if we go into the next week, week 10, you can see that it just continues. Week 10, assignment 1, week 10, assignment 2. So this is just one way of organizing your courses. When you set about building your course and your structure, you might have another challenge. What if you're in elementary and you are combining all your assignments into one course? Well, then you might have to have an opening folder that leads into some subfolders, and maybe you organize it by day with all the teacher assignments listed, so the students know exactly what's due for this Monday with all the different teachers. If you're going to have a lot of assignments, like maybe more than 4 or 5, you might want to have a folder for each teacher. And so then the teacher would have the name and then the assignments for that particular week. Maybe you give each teacher or subject a folder color. So it's real easy to create these folders. You would click Add Materials, Add Folder, put the title in. Maybe in the description, you can add a picture, or you can add your assignment list, or you can add your objectives, or you can add the TEKs that are going to be covered. It depends on your audience, really. If you're aiming at the student, you might want to make it the student checklist, so they know exactly what's going to be due for that particular week, and then you just click Create. The second piece of advice before I go would be, don't stress about where you're going to put your folders at this moment. I know in elementary, there's talk of combining all of the folders into one course. It's really easy to move the folders once you've created them. So the focus should be on creating the content. Find your lessons, find your materials that you want to add, start putting them in your folders. And then let's say on Saturday they let you know that it's going to be put into one particular course. It's really simple. I just take all of the assignments, and maybe I want to move the whole folder, so I maybe bounce out into the head folder, and I click this, and then just copy the course. And then that will bring that whole entire folder into whichever course is being used to contain them all. So that's tip number 2. Really think about how you're going to structure your assignments, your folders. There's many different ways to do it, but as long as you're consistent and use a similar structure throughout, your students should have an easy time navigating the course.